whispers, alibis thin. Two sharp-eyed sleuths say, all right, who sinned? Has tipped low, clues fall in line. They read between the lines, right on time. Grim starts sweating when the squad rolls through. Every story tested, most don't stand up to prove. So grab your fedora, jump right in. True Crime Squad's on, and the trouble begins. Join the super squad, bonus laughs, deeper clues. Same sharp sleuths, just extra clues.
Hey everybody, welcome to the True Crime Squad. I'm Kristi Brower, here with my sister, co-host, and partner in crime, Katie Weaver. Hey Katie.
How's it going?
It is going well. How are you?
I am good. My dogs are so messed up right now.
Uh-oh.
Because we're getting ready to go camping. So they know.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they've seen things getting loaded. They saw the motorhome get pulled into the front yard. They saw me take my luggage out a little while ago. And they are beside themselves. So they're not allowed in the front yard until it's time to leave. They're not allowed. Our policy is they're not allowed in the front yard unless they have their harnesses on. So that they know that means that we're going somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
And so no harnesses have come out yet. But they did see me pack their food a few minutes ago. And so they are all just pacing around me and coming in here and taking looks at me like, what you doing? You know? Watching their dad out the window loading stuff and howling and crying. Anyway, yeah, it's been a scene all afternoon in here with them. They'll be so happy to get in the car.
Oh, yes, ours too. Our little Chewini is so smart, and she starts getting real suspicious as we start packing things. She knows exactly what is happening, and she's so excited.
Yeah.
And we're basically heading out as soon as we're done with this show, so pretty excited.
Yeah, we'll be about an hour behind you, I think. We're not too far from it as well, but
Nice.
Yeah, pretty exciting. And we're bringing our new side-by-side. Guys, I have to pull a trailer. I have to drive our pickup and pull a trailer. Now listen, you've done all of these things your entire adult life, so I know you would be fine. I normally don't. Kara had to last time we camped, and she called me and said, I'm trying not to cry or throw up. So I too will try not to cry or throw up. Yeah.
After watching our dad tow the most insane train of outdoor equipment, he would tow a camp trailer with a four-wheeler trailer behind it.
Yeah.
All in one big long caravan.
Yeah.
Do that for $1 million. But I have to drive the motorhome, so sorry.
Right. Yeah. Well, Scott's driving our motorhome, and he'd considered, it has a hitch, so he'd thought about just hooking the side-by-side trailer up to it and just pulling the whole kit and caboodle, but he was like, that seems stupid. What if we had an issue? Like, let's just pull it with the pickup, then we'll have the truck if we need it, and which is probably right, but I'm going to make him take all of the dogs, so I have no distractions, just me, myself, and I. Yeah.
Four-wheeler trailer's easy. That's nothing,
This should be simple, right? Yeah.
Just hugs the back of the truck and just goes with you.
I'm just a baby. Yeah. And what have I said about Scott when because he's going to follow me? Oh my God. Last time he followed me, this happens nearly every time. Inevitably, my phone will ring and I know who it is. And he'll say something like, what are you doing? Well, I don't know.
Driving? What are you doing?
Doing something that I also probably don't want to be doing. I don't know. But why are you going so slow? Why are you going so fast? Why are you passing like that? Why are you hugging the white line? Why are you hugging the yellow line? It will be something.
It really should be that you follow him. I think that would be a lot easier.
I'm going to tell him, don't you dare call me unless it's an emergency.
Yeah. Either that, or you can go around me, and then I'm going to call you.
There you go. Red has a lead foot. I don't. He'll probably call me and be like, why are you going so slow? I don't know.
It's tough to say. But before we head out for camping, we actually have a lot to share with you today. We've got lots of true crime. So, Katie, I know you're going to kick us off with some WTF news.
Oh, yeah. There's reasons why we choose the bear.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And right now it's because of these two.
Oh, boy.
Because
They
you
look
will
like
not
a
even with
real
these two
brain trust.
idiots. Oh my God. When you hear what these two fools did. This happened in Indianapolis at a bar. Well, it started at a bar. It started at the Mucky Duck Pub. Listen to
Ooh,
me. If
okay.
I lived in Indianapolis, we would be trying the Mucky Duck Pub because that name is interesting. Anyway, that's all. Now, I know someone's going to comment and be like, don't ever go in that terrible place. I don't know. I know nothing about them except for the name. Yeah, it would get me. It's fine. It's probably good. But these two assholes noticed a group of people, 3 women and 1 man. So one of the women was clearly with one of the men, or the man that was in their party, but there were 2 women that were not. And these two started putting advances on them, making it clear that they, would like some attention from these ladies who went, God no. So they just ignored them. Just didn't entertain it at all. Just kind of went, yep, no thank you. Which I think I would like to believe to most men is like, okay, they're clearly not interested. Well, we're moving on, right? I mean, that's what people
That's the
with
hope.
any brains or self-respect would do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, meet no brains or self-respect right here.
Boy.
Yeah. This is Lamarquez, Dixon, and Stephen Lind. So, Stephen and Lamarquez thought that they apparently deserved attention from these men. And it really got so bad because they, after being rejected, both got very upset and escalated with kind of a verbal confrontation with these ladies to the point that they decided they needed to leave. And to try to just slip away and just go home and get away from these two, they slipped out the back door to just try to, well, we're just going to leave, right? Sad that they had to leave what they were doing because these two couldn't be told no, but okay.
Right.
So they headed out to their car. Well, unfortunately, Lind and Dixon thought that was their cue to leave as well. So the victims went out to the parking lot. They got into a Toyota Camry to leave. And Dixon met them in the parking lot with a handgun.
Oh my God.
In the meantime, Lind climbed into his Chevy Suburban and Dixon got in with him, and they started chasing the Camry through Indianapolis.
Oh my God.
Dixon leaned out of the Suburban and fired multiple shots at the Camry. Now, the Camry's driver, who was legally armed, he returned some shots at them in self-defense. This poor guy's got 3 women in his car and being pursued by these motherfuckers that are shooting at them because these women had the nerve to say no thank you to them. I mean, can you even imagine how scary this was?
So scary and so
shocking.
dangerous.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, not just for the people in the cars, but anybody
Everyone
in the area.
around them.
Yeah. So they eventually pull into a parking lot that belongs to the University of Indianapolis Police, hoping that that would scare them off. It did not. The chase continued through the lot where an officer's personal vehicle and part of the police facility were damaged.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It did finally end. Luckily, nobody was hurt, believe it or not, but the Camry sustained heavy damage, including bullet holes, shattered windows, a flat tire, and the driver did suffer some cuts from flying glass.
My God.
Yeah. Officers recovered from the Suburban 3 handguns and numerous shell casings, and the 1 handgun from the Camry. And obviously evidence that both vehicles had been struck by gunfire. So the Camry driver, whilst driving, managed to pop off some shots that did hit the Suburban.
Good for them. My God.
Absolutely insane. So they have both been arrested. The police went back to the bar and asked for their surveillance footage, and they said that the security cameras weren't functioning that day. So, interestingly, though, that bar's liquor license was on probation because of other violations. So, not connected to
Ooh.
this incident, but we might be looking at some dodgy stuff here.
Yes.
So, the charges. Lamarquez Dixon was charged with felony intimidation, felony pointing a loaded firearm, felony criminal recklessness with a deadly weapon, and 4 additional felony counts of criminal recklessness. Stephen Lind was charged with assisting a criminal, resisting law enforcement with a vehicle, and resisting law enforcement.
And just being a straight up dumbass.
Frankly, where's the attempted murder charges?
Right? Chasing this car through the city and
shooting
at them?
That's attempted murder in my eyes. I mean, come on.
Right?
The driver of the Camry was not charged. It looks like that's just going to be looked at like self-defense, as well it should be, obviously.
Good. Yeah.
So, yeah. They will both be likely going to trial for these felonies in the fall. Well, probably not. They're scheduled, for hearings coming up. But at any rate, they're both facing quite a few felonies. What we don't know is if they had priors. I can't imagine with all this going on. Though neither one of them were charged with having, a felon with a gun, so maybe not. But, or maybe just misdemeanors. But how did it get to this point?
I don't know, because they think at some point they would just get out of the car and be like, okay, that's all right. We'll go on a date with you. Like, what?
Right. Right. Or what? They were going to try and kidnap these two? Like, where was this going to end realistically? If it didn't just end, in the police parking lot, but where was it going to end?
Yeah. What was the plan here, boys?
Mm-hmm.
Not 2 brain cells to rub together between you.
No. Jesus. So, anyway, thank goodness the women are safe, though I'm sure traumatized to pieces. Good on the driver for everything he did to try and keep them safe. That must have been incredibly scary for everybody involved. And I hope you two go to prison.
Yeah, that's where you need to go. And Kristi said they will be president and vice president of incels in prison.
Yes, they will.
Yes, they will.
Yes, they will. Yep.
Wow.
Just like that. So, yeah, there you have it. The bear.
Absolutely.
And with that, I'm going to kick it over to you for a true crime trials update.
Yes. Well, friends, squad, humans of the world, this is another reason why we choose the bear. Here's Sam Bateman.
Yep.
So, as we know, Sam Bateman had a trial last week. Sam Bateman, who, he's the cult leader, sort of tried to spin off from Warren Jeffs in the FLDS. We watched the documentary about him, Trust Me, the False Prophet, for Watch Party a couple months ago. Sam has already been charged with a gazillion counts of child sexual abuse and trafficking and shit, and he has pleaded guilty and has been serving a 50-year sentence in federal prison.
Yeah.
See, he was also facing these other 3 charges of child abuse in Arizona over an incident that happened in Flagstaff. And you know what Sam thought? He thought he should probably go to trial on that and that he would be the best guy to represent him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
After this 50-year federal sentence. Like, what? Anyway,
that's what you should do.
So that happened.
Is represent yourself. Yeah.
Right. So this happened in Flagstaff, Arizona. 3 counts of child abuse that had to do with an August 2022 traffic stop. We've talked about it a lot of times, where a passing motorist saw fingers poking through the gaps in an enclosed cargo trailer that was being pulled down the freeway. Police were called. They were stopped and found that Sam had 3 girls, ages 11, 12, and 14, inside the enclosed trailer with a couch, camping chairs, and a makeshift toilet. They were just riding like that on the freeway. The girls were unharmed, but obviously were at serious risk of harm.
Yeah.
So he was charged with 3 counts of felony child abuse for this because, Jesus,
Yeah.
he could have killed them.
Yeah.
So, for reasons that only Sam will understand, because this dude is as dumb as they come, he decided to represent himself in his own trial.
Oh,
I have some
I think it was
clips.
entirely so that he could question his victims. I know he didn't at the end of the day,
He
but I really think that
didn't.
was why.
But he made a point of making sure the jury knew he didn't, because he
Yeah.
loves them and he didn't want to hurt them. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
all
No,
his shit
I
about
think
how
that's what
he
he wanted
loves
to
his
do in the
family
first
was enough to
place.
make you want to vomit.
Yeah.
Yes, I think so. And just the attention of it, too.
Yeah.
You know, the guy thinks he's a prophet. He thinks he's
Mm-hmm.
telepathic. He thinks he's all this shit.
Yeah.
And he isn't getting much attention in prison.
Yep.
Excuse me. Sorry. Asthma kicking in. So this trial was weird because they were not allowed to share with the jury that Sam was FLDS, that Sam led a FLDS cult, that these young girls were actually his wives, not his children, and that he is serving a 50-year sentence in prison. They couldn't do any of that. So as far as the jurors knew, these were his kids. This was so weird to me. But they referred to them as his children in the trial.
That's disgusting.
And it really is. It was very weird. But they were making sure that they didn't, you know, come back with like a 404B violation or something for prior bad acts. The prior bad act that they did get to know about was another time, a week prior to this incident, where he was pulled over because he was pulling a side-by-side down the road, and these same girls were sitting on the side-by-side in the trailer, just riding on the back of it while he's driving down the road. And he has the gall to tell everybody he didn't even know they were there.
I understand not saying they were his wives, I guess, except for, the truth hurts, right? But to say they were his kids is so gross for those girls.
It was really weird.
Why couldn't they have just not said what the relation was?
I don't know. At one point, well, okay, so one of the things Sam did is he represented himself, but for his own testimony, his consulting attorney asked him a bunch of questions. It was a list of 80 questions. 80.
Oh, good God.
Now, very few of them actually got to be answered by him because almost all of them were objected to, and the objection was sustained because they were ridiculous shit like, do you think you're a prophet?
Oh my God.
Have you ever had a psycho evaluation? Psycho. Not psych evaluation. Because he wrote this shit. And so then the attorney just had to read it out.
Intelligent Sam is.
Yes. Are you a member of a polygamous religion? Like stuff like that. So
are you good at jumping motorcycles?
Asked, right. Do you love your family? Would you ever harm a child?
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was gross. It was very gross. But what I have, so I cut it down to an 18-minute clip where some of the questions that he did get to answer that were his testimony, and then the cross-examination from the prosecutor, because I think they're pretty good. Sam can't keep his story straight for 10 seconds at all. He changes his story multiple times. He lies his ass off. Never fear. He was convicted. And one of the jurors has actually come out and said, what a fucking idiot this guy is. Because they were like, what the hell were we supposed to do with this? Of course he did it. So first, let's watch some of... the trial is over, and it was not streamed. I didn't know it was recorded. I don't know who recorded it. I've seen a bunch of different outlets now have the footage that someone was taking in the courtroom, but I don't know who actually took it. So kudos to you, whoever it was. All the big outlets have it now. So let's just watch some of this. It's very hard to hear. The sound quality is terrible. Also, Sam is a real mumbler and talks low. So I do have captions on to help you catch some of this. But let's just do let's do a little blind react to some of his testimony and then some of the cross-examination. Oh, whoops, wrong one.
24. When you left the last gas station that you stopped at, did you know that the girls were in the trailer?
I did not.
Or you had?
I apologize. Let me do a little further explanation on that. I knew they were in there the whole time, but my plan is when I got on.
Now wait, did you hear that? I did not know they were in there. And then I knew they were in there the whole time. This is how his testimony is. It's just a big giant circle of him admitting it and then lying about it.
The freeway says to put them in have them hop into the vehicles where they can be seated down, because I was concerned about the 75-mile-an-hour speed limits. And I saw Ruth get out of the trailer and head over to a different vehicle. And so I honestly thought that there's nobody in there, or else why on earth would I have left with the doors open?
Would it ever be your intent to do harm to people?
Objection, relevance, character. Sustained.
Could you please explain in detail the 10 minutes before the stop eventually occurred in Flagstaff on August 28th of 2000, on August 28th, the day of the incident?
Yes, I can. So I came from 389 heading south because we were going to Tucson for this Grant Cardone conference. And
Can you just slow down?
yes, well, and we stopped at Silver Saddle, and a gentleman approached us and seemed to be kind of a little bit angry. And so I was already a little bit on the edge. I was like, my goodness, when I heard that guy question this very firmly. And so I was already thinking, because I wanted to get him into vehicles before we hit the freeway. And so I was already planning on that. Then I left thinking that all those girls had got out of the trailer, and I was just assuming they closed it. I had no idea they were still back there. Anyway, I headed south on, I think it's 389 until you hit the first road, crossroad. I'm not sure the names of everything. And there's also a freeway entrance right there. And I turned right and pulled off onto the freeway. And I think it was actually on the off ramp when I got the call from Dottie. I'm saying, hey, the store's open. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I didn't know if I should pull over it, and I didn't know how far it was open or anything. And right around that time was when I saw Crosby, they were right up behind me on the corner of the trailer. And so I was already just kind of a little bit on the edge. And I also had, I know people may not believe in telepathy or whatever you want to call it, but I'd already had some telepathic experiences when Mr. Horsley pulled me over. That showed me that this is actually coming. Anyway, they may not believe it, but it's very scientific principles. So I was just really on the edge, and he pulled over, pulled right behind me, and so I pulled off onto the side of the road, and he pulled me around just like he described, and then I pulled off on the first exit off of the freeway again. I think it's like 1 mile or something between there. And I pulled off on there, not because he was following me particularly, but because I needed to get those girls the door closed on that trailer.
Yes, he didn't stop because the police were stopping him. He was doing it to protect the girls and get the door closed on the trailer.
Yes.
Like, what? Come on.
It had nothing to do with the police,
And
but he
so
did intuit we're coming.
turned left,
But
and just like
yes,
you said, turned
yes.
left and pulled her over to the right. So it looked like it was pretty suspicious, no question about it. Anyway, I just moved around the corner and seemed like there's a Danny.
boy, he has an interesting tell. The blinking.
Yes, yeah.
All of the blinking when he lies. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Denny's or something, I'm not sure right there. U-Haul, yeah, and I pulled into the parking lot. And then just sat there for 4 or 5 minutes. And Crosby, I think his name is, I pulled in there and just sat there. Didn't have any lights on or anything. And then a whole bunch of people showed up. And the rest you see.
2028, did the girls have phones in the trailer, and if so, how many?
Yes, they did. They had the three. I think one of them was actually an iPod, but they had their phones on the whole time because I was going to traveled anyway. But I also was concerned to make sure they're safe.
Whilst in the trailer?
Safety.
During the course of this trip, did you feel that you were under increased mental pressure?
Objection, relevance.
Sustained.
To the blinking.
What was your mental status at the time that you were pulled over?
No, I've got this one.
Okay.
Dumb as hell.
Mhm.
Dumb as hell.
Yes.
Okay.
Dumb as hell.
I was explaining the last time, in the last question. I was just, it's kind of anxious. And some of the witnesses have said that I was always anxious around cops. So we've kind of been through a lot of experiences in our town. And we've had several raids and stuff. So pretty much everyone in that town's, we're just very reluctant when it comes to police officers. And by the way, I do appreciate them. I don't argue against them at all. It's one of those weaknesses.
You see how he's telling the jury that he is from the polygamous town?
Yep.
He's making sure they know.
On your way to Flagstaff, did your group stop for the restroom at all?
One of the witnesses described that I'd used the restroom, but that is not even my nature. And I asked some of my family members last night if they remembered it, and nobody remembered anything.
Guys, it's not his nature to use the restroom.
He's too holy
They
to
should
shit.
know that. Like, what are you talking about?
And the girls had a bucket.
Right, the girls had a bucket. God, that's so terrible.
Holy good Lord.
And I just
Crazy.
wanted to make that note.
Objection, you're saying to strike the last couple of statements.
Sustained. The court will order the last answer regarding hearsay statements by family members stricken. However, the answer in terms of Mr. Bateman's personal experience can be considered by the jury.
Did any of the officers who were seen during the August 28th stop at issue come across as vindictive to you?
Objection, relevance.
Will you reread the question, Mr. Hartman?
Yes, Your Honor. Did any of the officers who were seen during the August 28th stop seem vindictive towards you?
And the objection is relevance.
Yes.
Overruled, all allow you to answer.
Yes, they seem to be really decent, every one of them. And like I say, I have nothing against police officers and really appreciate what they do. Our country wouldn't be safe without them. But I don't really want to mention his name, but I asked him several questions and he yelled at me right in the car. Almost like he'd had a kind of preconceived decision on what he was going to do.
You mean he yelled at you because you were hauling children in an enclosed trailer on the freeway? Weird. Yeah, that's bias, not just, my God, you idiot, you're going to kill these kids.
Yeah.
What?
And then he yelled at me.
Yeah. Yes, blink, 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 blink.
Question 42. How was it that the fingers of the alleged victims were sticking out of the door, yet the body cam footage viewed at trial shows officers unlatching the door from the outside?
This is my belief is that you can't. That the vertical pipe going up the trailer door, I don't know if you've had experience with trailers, but you can latch the the bottom latch, and you have to be pretty tough to get that to stretch that 1 inch pipe to bend and get it to close on the top. I'm sure that maybe you have that experience. So there's just a discrepancy between the testimony and the video cam, the body cam stuff. It's just not matching. I mean, I'm sure that their fingers were sticking out. I already know that. I was on the phone with them. I have a knowledge of that. But so I'm just a little bit reluctant to believe all the video cam stuff. And yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
What is this blinking thing?
I'm not
One
sure.
eye.
So wait a minute. Is he saying that he thinks that some of the vest cam footage is incorrect? Is what?
Yes.
Cooked up?
Because they had to unlatch the door to let the girls out. But the door has 2 latches, friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
2. One was not latched, one was.
That top one, you have to be really strong. Really only like motorcycle stuntmen are strong enough to do that.
I think guys that are really good at hiking, I've heard.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, little girls ages 10, 11, 12, 13-ish can't do it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what? He said, I thought they closed the door. He
Yeah.
didn't even check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he's telling
I
us
think
it was too
this
hard for
is
them
code
to
for
do.
I'm stupid.
Definitely,
Yeah.
yes. But
But what he's trying to say is, well, he's trying to call into question the evidence, but he's not quite smart enough to actually say it on a way that, in a way that makes much sense. But I think the point is that one of the latches was undone. Also, this trailer is a huge piece of shit. It's apparently rusted out and full of holes. And he thought that gave the girls enough ventilation, that there would be air and that it wouldn't be too hot. An old shitty rusted out trailer that you just load up children in and drive around on the freeway.
In Arizona.
And in Arizona. Yeah, in that heat. Well, and it was August, you guys.
Oh,
but
my God.
Right. The girls did communicate that the door was unlatched. He says that all happened at the same time that he pulled over, but it isn't true because someone saw them sticking their hands out. The reason they were sticking their hands out was to hold the door shut.
Yeah.
But then that had to get called in to the police. And then a police officer sent. And so he's fucking with the timeline to try to make it sound like it all happened at the same time, except it definitely didn't.
No, couldn't have.
He also wants to make it appear that, this is only a dangerous thing if you do it on a freeway.
Mm-hmm.
And not just all the time, which it turns out they do. And he admits that freely.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's
during the August 14th stop that occurred in Mojave County involving the alleged victims riding as passengers in a UTV. Why did you appear to be confused when you were contacted by law enforcement?
Remember, these are his own questions.
That's because I was confused. I had no idea those girls were back there. They said that. They asked me, and I just forgot. And I was so busy organizing everything because I'm the driver. And when he said,
do you have any idea how busy I am being a prophet and having 1 billion child brides? I am busy.
I mean, he does talk about that there are 40 people living in my house, and it's really hard to keep track of that. Because at one point he asks him, how'd that furniture get back there? If you didn't think the kids were going to ride back there, how come there was furniture back there? I don't even know how that got in there. I have no idea. There are 40 people living in my house. Yeah, that's one of his explanations. It's a stupid one.
Unreal. Okay,
that's all. But then I didn't know that there were kids sitting on the side by side in the trailer I was towing.
That I was towing.
This is an open air trailer.
Yeah, like you didn't have mirrors? Listen, when I go out and pull ours today, I'll let you know if I could have seen that there were children riding in it, okay? Wait, I don't need to. I'm going to let you know right now. You could. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Most definitely.
Okay.
Can you fit them in the front? And I was completely and totally shocked. Because I thought he was talking about the two little motorbikes on the back. They were strapped on the back. And so I was just like, why on earth would you stick some motorbikes in the front? Anyway, so I turned to Noam's, and she says, those girls in the back, they're Noam's, or might have been somebody else, maybe Rosie, I forget who. She said, those girls in the back, and I was like, oh my goodness. Anyway.
Question 51. Did you make the girls that were in the caravan aware that they had a choice regarding where they would be riding during the trip?
I didn't actually per se tell them, but I just probably knew my nature, that they can reject
Why do you
anything
look
that
so
I
surprised by
suggest,
his own question?
anything. They might have believed they didn't have a choice, but they absolutely did. Just because they look at me like they did, look at me like I was special or whatever you want to call it.
Question 52.
Special.
Did the mothers of the 3 girls that were in the trailer live with you?
Yes, they did. Well, no, one of them, well, I used to live in the same house as the third one, but I eventually moved in a different house. And yes, the 2 mothers of 2 girls did live in the house, the same house with me.
Surely the jury's pretty much figured this out,
Question
right?
53. Have
I'm
you ever
sure they
had a psychoevaluation?
Objection, relevance.
Sustained.
A psycho. Yes,
Question 54.
we're doing it right now. This is your psycho evaluation. You are passing with flying colors. Psycho evaluation. Can you imagine?
Keep it up, Sam. You're doing great.
But this attorney's just reading what he wrote.
Mm-hmm.
You share your teachings with any outside of your family and friends?
Yes, I do. Anybody that, I'm a strong believer in the law of attraction and science and mixing the two, so I like to.
His teachings are the law of attraction and science, friends.
And how they all
Doesn't
fit
sound
together.
It's not exactly what I would consider FLDS doctrine. What?
No.
Yeah. Right. I feel bad for this attorney too, who's just asking these dumbass questions like, but yeah, how he was reading the numbers. We started at 24. We're already to 52. That's how many I have skipped. There were 80.
Yes.
Share with everyone.
Previous witnesses have testified that you seem paranoid or on edge about possible law enforcement contact. Why is that?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, officer forced me to stop. I had telepathic experience, and it was my subconscious mind, contacted his. I'm not sure how it all works, but and I know many of you have the same experience, but it showed me that they were trying to stack my charges so they could get me in prison. Anyway.
He's assuming that many of the jurors also experience spontaneous telepathy. Oh boy.
I have so many questions. Also, he doesn't know what telepathy means, but okay.
He doesn't know.
Then when we stopped at Silver Saddle, that informant was kind of angry, and he walks up and he starts trying to yell at us, "Where are you from?" And so I was like, "Oh my goodness, they're going to call somebody," so I was already on edge. So that's the 2 reasons why.
In one of your questions to law enforcement, you characterized the situation as being extremely dangerous.
I don't remember it. I don't know why I would have said that. It seemed like kind of a dumb thing to say.
Would you agree that as the driver of the truck pulling the trailer, this situation?
Why would I ask myself
and
that
the trailer
question?
Girls was your responsibility?
Yeah.
What was that?
And
It was your
you go back
responsibility?
there, and you continued on your way with them back there for hours.
I did.
And that included here in the Flagstaff area.
Only because I didn't know they were back there. Once I didn't get Flagstaff, I wanted them to hop in the other vehicles and put their seatbelts on.
But they were back there when you
of
were
course you
on
did.
Interstate 40 in Flagstaff, correct?
Yeah, but I promise you, I didn't know they were there.
I promise.
Promised you.
But they were there, you knew they were there when you were on Highway 89, correct?
Yeah, I did.
I'm a little confused. So you learned that they were back, you knew they were back there the entire time. And
This is the prosecutor.
you also didn't intend to continue that way past Flagstaff, you just testified. Help me understand. Help me understand.
Okay, and I realize I probably didn't describe it real well, but yeah, so we come to 389, stopped at Silver Saddle, and then I'm not sure why, but we pulled into the station right south of Wendy's. I forget what it is, a little C-store or something there.
It was so you could
And
use the
that was
restroom.
and they went in.
That's not in his nature.
And then I thought they'd come back out and close the door because I saw Ruth go to the vehicle, and I thought all the other girls had gone to the vehicle because I thought I'd already described it as the plan. And so then I headed out and didn't realize that there was girls still in there doing stuff in the trailer, and the trailer door was open because Ruth forgot to close it. That's what they told me. And so I headed out, and then I got to the freeway entrance, and it was just like right on the freeway entrance, on the freeway when I got a phone call. So I'm just kind of peeking out, and then all of a sudden this gentleman, Crosby, came up behind me, and just kind of freaked me out. It's like I really wasn't even thinking straight, but I got off as fast as I could. I exited the freeway, but Crosby followed me right into where I went to the parking lot, across the street from the U-Haul.
And you're aware that at that point in that area, the girls did get out of the trailer.
You mean after it stopped?
After you stopped, yeah.
Oh, I knew they were in there long before that because they phone called me.
Okay. There's just this kind of mysterious time period on I-40 where you don't know if they were in there or not.
Yeah, there's notice. Well, like I said, it was right when I was getting off of, or the sidewalk there. It's when I was entering the freeway. That's when I got the phone call, and so I didn't have time to really do anything. Because I thought, I'm going to pull off right on the side, but there's nowhere to pull off until you get quite a ways down into the freeway. And that's just like right at the time when Crosby pulled right behind me on the corner of the trailer. And I'd already had that, kind of freaked out over that guy that came up to us and started asking questions about, where are you from, what you doing. And so I just pulled off as soon as I could, and I could see up ahead that there was an exit, and I was heading for that exit. And like I said, I just freaked out, pulled off to the side. He pulled over beyond the exit and stopped. And so I pulled onto the freeway a little bit and then pulled off on the exit. And so this time I didn't know they were back there, so I was trying to get off as quick as I could. It just seems very retarded to me to continue on when I have the door open.
Well, if you care about them so much as you've been testifying, and why would you put them in that dangerous situation?
Because they asked.
And you were in charge. And you made a decision. And you let them sit back there.
I did. You must be mistaking me when I say I care about them. I have a heartfelt care for them that's worth my life. And I don't know, have you never had a child to ask you for something that
had a child?
They cried or whatever.
Now it's the girls' fault?
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
It's definitely the girls' fault.
The girls' fault. One of them didn't shut the door, in fact.
Real quick. And so you talked about you would be in constant communication. Were there times when the calls would drop?
Occasionally. Well, actually, there's quite a few places they drop. There are quite a few places where they do drop, but it's not for very long. It's only for a few minutes usually.
When the calls would drop, would you immediately try to get back on the phone with them again?
Absolutely. 100%.
And that happens on this trip, and obviously.
Absolutely, and every other trip.
Did you instruct the girls not to get out of the trailer
Oh,
in Flagstaff?
yeah, I probably did, yeah. Just because the cops were there, I didn't want to create a big scene.
The cops were there. Didn't want to create a big scene.
Mm-hmm.
No further questions.
No further questions. I mean, he literally just admits the whole fucking thing right there.
Yep.
But this is the word salad. I think we're in a salad spinner right now, trying to make sense of what Sam has to say. It's just bullshit, and it's double speaking. He talks backwards and forwards and lies within lies. It's absolutely
so
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, the last few at the end there, that was the prosecutor cross-examining him after but the most of it was his own questions that his consulting attorney asked him. He does repeat himself. He does baffle himself. He
Mm.
baffles everyone else with some utter
Yeah.
bullshit. I have another clip for you. This is just him speaking to the jury. I'm not sure if this is opening or closing. I couldn't tell.
So wait, can I ask a question? I'm assuming that
Yeah.
the jury saw pictures of the crime scene, right? Pictures of the.
They saw video.
So they saw pictures of the girls. So they saw them in
They
their
saw the girls.
polygamy
Yeah.
dresses, right? So they knew.
Oh, yeah. They knew. They absolutely knew, of course. If you live around polygamists that dress like
Right.
that, you
You
can
know
spot
exactly
them from
what
a
you're
mile away,
looking at.
as we have told you, because they live
Oh,
here
yeah.
too.
Well, I was going
Yeah.
to say, I saw a family polygamist in Walmart like 3 days ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is,
Exactly.
I would say that they definitely knew. Yeah.
They knew. Yes, they definitely did. But here's Sam just, trying to defend himself to the jury, I guess.
Judging on the facts and the evidence in this case, there's just you're not going to find evidence that I willingly, intentionally harmed these people, because I didn't harm them, and I didn't even have a desire to harm them. And in my mind, because I felt like I was a very good driver, I didn't feel like I had been injured. And he mentioned that I was sitting in my real soft truck, but I would have easily got back there with him if I would have trusted somebody else to drive. I like that kind of stuff. I was kind of first man. I like exciting things. Also, please realize that my decision-making abilities on this particular trip, more than probably my whole life long, were being taxed, especially grade after the silver saddle experience, because we saw that gentleman come up quite angry or quite bothered. And then it turned into exquisite.
So this is one of the people that reported, because they stopped at this gas station. Somebody sees these girls get out of the back of this trailer.
Yeah.
This guy knows exactly what's up, and he comes in, he confronts Sam, and then he's like, we better get out of here because he's going to call the cops. And he did, as well as other people, because obviously no one thinks it's a good idea to put children in the back of a cargo trailer, or anyone. No one should be riding in the back of a cargo trailer. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, it's not, I had to save time. They did this stuff all the time around Short Creek.
Yeah.
This was a very common thing. But he said it was just always on dirt roads. Like, that made it okay. Like,
He
somehow
had
it was
40
safer.
people to transport, guys. He had to figure it out.
Well, and he had child brides. And I mean, what's not coming out in this, but that is really likely the real reason, is that he didn't want anybody to see the child brides.
Yes.
It was the youngest that were
stuffed in the
hidden
trailer.
in the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not softball truck, it's soft truck. So basically the cop is like, yeah, you're just riding here in your nice soft truck, and you've got these children rattling around in this trailer. Like, what the hell are you doing? Yeah. That was probably some of that time that, the officer yelled at him, guys.
Very mean.
Pain and concern that I'm freaking out when I got the phone call as I was pulling off onto the freeway. When they said our fingers are sticking out the door, I was like, oh my goodness. So I got freaked out. I think I pulled off right at the minute on the side or at least as soon as I could, onto this median, or what do you call it, emergency lane. And then that's when I saw, right as he pulled up to me, that's when I pulled off. He went ahead of me, parked on the other side of the exit. And I just got back on the road and pulled into the exit. And so about half a mile from where I had first pulled off, where I had been stopped. Also, the other people may not have known my intention, but my intention was not to get on the freeway, because I understand the greatly increased danger.
That you were on the freeway.
Vehicles moving that fast, and the big vehicles. I may not have told them that, but that was definitely my intention. When I started walking out of the trailer to get into the other vehicles, I just assumed that the others had done the same thing. I really don't have any worries about this, because if the truth were really known, you wouldn't convict me, because my intention is never to hurt anyone. I would humbly ask you to don't consider the what ifs in this circumstance. If we start getting into that, I don't think we'll ever end that real brand. Also,
don't consider the what ifs. What if the door flew open and the girls fell out? What if you got in a wreck and flipped that trailer? You know, those kinds of what ifs. Don't be considering those, jury.
Yeah. Please don't muck up the process by thinking about that.
Yeah. Don't be doing those what ifs.
he mentioned that I rode in the trailer. You have to realize that most of the time when I stayed, we were in that trailer, it was just little teeny picnics and drives in the vicinity around my area, my town, or our house. Most of the time it was on dirt roads. If there ever was pavement, it was just around town and on very slow speed limited roads. And also realize that that whole town is with the motorbike in this town you've ever seen in your entire life. There's more motorbikes going everywhere all day, pretty much. And so we kind of grew up in
mostly Sam's.
And I think I've already mentioned this, but I realized that when I exited the freeway after a mile or so, I was not nearly so concerned because we slowed to much slower speeds. And that's why apparently it seems like I crossed all those turnoffs because it was so slow. I was looking for somewhere out of the way where it wasn't so much public.
Yeah. Didn't want anybody, seeing them unload those kids.
Yeah.
Well, one of the jurors who has been interviewed said they thought he was a buffoon, which I think is a pretty good term. I'm sure they were all like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, they did convict him of 3 counts of felony child abuse. His sentencing is not for a month or so, potentially 4 to 8 years per count. But he's already serving 50 in federal prison, so yeah. I mean, he's not going anywhere.
I think we can safely say that his attorney was an idiot.
Absolutely,
as we expected. Man,
now
I wish that he and Warren Jeffs would end up in the same prison.
Right. Ooh, that would be tough. Warren would probably be getting him killed.
They can be fighting it out.
Yeah. So the girls that were in the trailer did testify, as did several of the other wives who were present when all of this was going on, and they're all like, he knew exactly. Everybody did everything he said. If they were in the trailer, it was because he told them to be in the trailer.
Right.
So anyway, it was a real victorious day for a lot of the women, particularly those that have left the FLDS over the situation and managed to get away. It really was a moment for them to truly have their day in court because, of course, he took a plea in the federal case. And so they felt really good about being able to speak out and speak up about what he's done.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really good that they did get that opportunity.
Absolutely. Yeah.
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 Right. They could have a profit off.
Yes. I mean, at the end of the day, we make light of Sam Bateman because he's a fucking idiot. But what he has done isn't funny. He has ruined the lives of many, many women and girls.
He is horrific.
Absolutely horrible as a human being.
It's terrifying.
Horrible. Yep.
He's a terrifying human being, and the things that he thinks are okay.
Yeah. But huge props to all of them for being brave enough to testify and to face this. I'm sure it was terrifying. But
yes, absolutely.
Good on all of these women for doing the best they can here. Yep.
Absolutely. Very happy for them that they had that opportunity.
Yeah.
So we'll let you know. Maybe there will be a streamed sentencing. I don't know. I hope so. I would really like to be able to stream the sentencing. So we'll stay up on that and let you know.
I'm sure he'll speak on his own behalf.
Oh, he will. Yeah. All right. And with that, Katie, you've got a crime news update for us.
I do. Oh, good Lord, friends. We brought you this case when it first happened.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Yeah. Get your punching pillows. This is terrible stuff. This is Erin Strotman. I do want to tell you quickly before I get way into her story that no babies died. Know that now, because I know how big of a trigger that could be. However, this is a case of child abuse that will shock the hell out of you. So this is Erin Strotman. Erin was a nurse, and in 2022, in around July, she started working at the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit, the NICU, at Henrico Doctors Hospital in Richmond, Virginia. And during this time, there was an infant who had some strange injuries, some broken bones, which you would absolutely not expect in a NICU baby. Nothing came of it at the time, but just put that in your pocket. In the summer of 2023, around August, between August 5th and September 5th, doctors discover in that NICU 4 babies with injuries, including broken femurs, rib fractures, bruising, and one baby particularly had multiple fractures, 5 fractures.
Oh my God.
Yep, that was in 1 month time.
Holy shit.
And then they started thinking back to last fall when they had a baby who had some unexplained broken bones. These are premature infants.
Yeah.
From September 20th to the 21st of that same year, 2023. By that time, 7 weeks after the first injuries were discovered, hospital administrators finally go, we're going to have to do our due diligence, and they notify Child Protective Services, the Henrico Police, and the Virginia Department of Health. If you think that's a little odd, since these things happened between August 5th and September 5th, it is. They had 24 hours to report any injury like that to the reporting agencies here, and they did not for a month.
Jesus.
Sometimes more than a month, depending on the situation, and particularly a year on the one that happened a year before this.
Yeah.
So by the fall of 2023, police start investigating, but they're unable to identify a suspect. They're not sure who's doing it. Someone's hurting the babies. We don't know who. Hospital officials respond by installing surveillance cameras in NICU rooms, provide additional staff training, and review child abuse reporting procedures. You know, because they're in deep shit for not reporting all of these injuries to these tiny, tiny babies. So at that time, there are no criminal charges filed. During the investigation, Erin Strotman is placed on administrative leave. And later, well after the fact, because your mind will be blown when you hear how this all lays out, but they discover that while she's not in the NICU, there are no unexplained fractures reported among any NICU patients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's only happening when she's present?
Yes. After a year on leave. Yeah. After a year on leave, they're like, hey, you want to come back to work? You should. So she comes on back to work. After a year. They haven't really investigated her. They just put her on leave, trying to figure out who was hurting the babies. But she comes back. Now they've had a whole year of no incidences. Initially, when she comes back, she's required to work alongside another nurse. Because while they couldn't prove it, they kind of wondered, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they let her come back. The fuck. So she comes back. That was in September of 2024. Eventually, she is back to full duty, caring for NICU infants. And in November of 2024, a child suffers fractures to both legs, additional injuries that the prosecutors describe as a constellation of injuries.
Oh my God.
And basically, it is just a flashback to the original injuries. So now, this has now been 2 years of her injuring babies in the NICU and getting away with it.
My God.
So finally, on November 10th, surveillance cameras finally capture her caring for a baby, and the footage shows that she is pressing significant body weight onto the infant. I mean, remember, these babies could be like 1 pound, 2 pounds. I mean, they're tiny.
Oh my God.
Forcefully manipulating the baby's legs, bending the baby's legs back until the feet touched the head, while the infant screamed and cried in distress.
My God.
And that resulted in fractures to both legs. So the defense says, oh, she wasn't hurting the baby. She was trying to relieve gas or clear milk from the baby's airway. She was just using a poor technique.
Bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I know all about
1000%.
releasing gas in a little baby. We had to do it with my granddaughter a bunch. And it doesn't require any broken bones. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So early December, yes, she still works there. By December of 2024, 2 more babies are found with unexplained fractures. So now, within weeks, we have 3 babies that have received broken bones. And hospital administrators said that started to look to them like the similarities matched what happened in 2023.
Listen, you all need to fire up your brain cells, because why did it take this long?
You need to fire everybody.
Yeah.
Fire everybody. Are you kidding? So, finally, on December 26, 2024, Henrico Doctors Hospital suspends all NICU admissions. That's the answer. We're just not going to let anybody in. Yeah. And that's when an investigation is reopened in earnest. By December 30th, police announced that there are now 7 known injured babies connected to this investigation. And the HCA Healthcare announces extensive safety changes within the NICU. You think?
My God.
On January 2nd of this year, or of that year, so that finally all happened at the very end of 2024. On January 2nd of 2025, so just a few days later, Henrico Doctors Hospital terminates Strotman's employment, and she's arrested shortly afterwards. So the original charges were malicious wounding and felony child abuse. Also in January of 2025, the Virginia Department of Health investigates their findings, and they're highly critical of the hospital. Yeah, you think? They say that the hospital failed to report suspected abuse within the required timeline, couldn't accurately identify every staff member caring for each infant, failed to adequately protect vulnerable patients. Yeah. My God.
No shit. Wow.
They are NICU babies. I mean, there's no one more vulnerable than this. With parents who can't be there all the time. Sometimes aren't even allowed to be. I mean, they put all of their trust in this staff to take care of their precious, precious babies, to have something like this happening, and happening, and happening, and then happening some more. From March to April 2025, the prosecutors file additional indictments. So it grows from, basically the first charges were only from 1 of the injured babies to 3 of the injured babies, then 5, then 8, then 9. So the charges eventually are for 9 of the injured babies. And that's just the ones they charged her for.
Jesus.
There could have been more.
Sure.
So throughout 2025, they're continuing to build their case, doing pretrial stuff. Interestingly, additional families come forward and want to be their baby's case to be looked at because of hearing about this investigation through the media.
Jesus, they weren't even contacted by the hospital.
No.
Oh.
So, back in January of this year, of 2026, she entered a no contest plea to 9 counts of felony child abuse. So the plea agreement dismisses malicious wounding charges, limits her maximum active prison sentence to, brace yourselves please, 3 years.
What?
Permanently
3
bars.
years?
Yeah. Permanently bars her from nursing, healthcare employment, working with children, or working with vulnerable adults. So during the plea hearing, prosecutors presented surveillance video, investigative findings, and statements made by Strotman during interviews. So apparently she acknowledged that she had used similar handling techniques since she began work in the NICU in 2022, but denied intending to injure any child. The amount of force that would have had to be used, that's just not bad technique. It just isn't.
No.
I just refuse to believe that. Yeah.
She was pushing till she felt the break.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Oh my God. That just
The babies with
ill.
a constellation of injuries, meaning their whole bodies received injuries. Yeah. Prosecutors said they accepted the plea because proving intentional malicious wounding beyond a reasonable doubt for every child would have been challenging, and that they followed Virginia's sentencing guidelines when recommending a substantially shorter sentence than the one ultimately negotiated. 3 years.
My God.
Yep.
Well, sure, because who cares about women or babies?
Yep.
Yes,
many families have filed civil lawsuits against the hospital and its parent company. So there's a lot of lawsuits still continuing to march on because of this situation. This is just flabbergasting. It really is.
It is. That sentence is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. But also, no, I refuse to believe that this was just poor training or poor technique and mishandling of babies. No.
This
not
was
that
malicious.
many times. Not that many injuries. Absolutely not.
Couldn't be.
No. Absolutely disgusting. But 3 years is horrifying. You've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Yep.
How sad.
Yeah. Well, I hope those 3 years are absolutely terrible, Erin. I really do.
Well, we probably need to post her picture periodically. Remember this bitch?
Yeah. Don't forget her. Especially when she gets out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, Carolina? She said, although babies are resilient, it takes a whole lot of strength to break femurs and bones. Right. And good question, Cherish. Was she working up to killing them? I mean, this whole case screams of, early Lucy Letby,
Right. Or did she just want to cause as much pain as possible?
Right.
In NICU babies, my God. It's horrifying.
Unreal. How did this bitch get through college? How?
I don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, there you have it. At least they got their conviction, I guess. But the way this entire thing has been handled is pretty appalling.
Really is.
I hope the families that are suing sue the absolute pants off of that hospital and the parent company.
They need to, because what the hell were they thinking handling it like this? Letting it go on for that long.
Yep.
Wow. All righty. Well, that's plenty of true crime for me this week. How about you?
Yeah, that's a big week. Yeah.
We really have. So please, get outside, do some fun things, laugh, smile.
If you celebrate the 4th, please be so super safe.
Please don't burn anything down. So worried about here. We're so dry. And of course, people are just already lighting shit off as though, we aren't just in a fucking tinderbox, because we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so be so careful. And if you hate the 4th of July like me, get the hell out of there so you don't have to listen to any of this shit. Because that'll also be great too. We're going to be way out on the desert where it's beautiful and quiet and there aren't any other people. So it's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be great. Yes.
Yes. All righty. Well, we'll be back on Monday. And you know it, Monday is the beginning of Tyler Robinson's preliminary hearing. And we will be streaming that over on the Trials channel starting at 9 a.m. Mountain. Oh, excuse me. So I'll be streaming that all week. Plus, we'll be having our regular content over here as well. So keep an eye on us on both channels because we've got lots going on.
Absolutely.
And you know what? We are the True Crime Squad. Thanks for being here.
Take care.
Join the Super Squad, bonus laughs, deeper clues, same sharp sleuths, just extra clues.